returning color is Jaune Poussin. I feel like that's probably the worst one to butcher, right? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be the Hermes Spring Summer 2021 colors. Before I dive into today's video, if you are new to my channel and you love luxury, especially if you love Hermes, I would love if you would hit that subscribe button below and also the bell so you can be notified when I upload new videos, which is twice a week on a Wednesday and on a weekend. It's taken me a while to find out what the Spring Summer 2021 colors were going to be for Hermes. It is going to be confusing, so I'm going to do my very best to kind of explain what the colors are, what's still sort of hanging around, that kind of thing, what's new, and also there's a bit of a merge from a collection that has been delayed as well. Okay, so now let's dive right into all the colors so we can get through this video today. The first thing I want to mention is that there was a So Pink collection that was due to drop around about for winter 2020. However, it has been delayed and we were kind of wondering what's happening with it. Is it coming? It did already drop. So I know that at our local Hermes, which is a maison, they actually had like a So Pink room and it was all pink themed. It had pink everything, but there was some colors that were coming with this So Pink launch. And I'm now starting to notice that bags are really starting to come into the market, SLGs and that sort of stuff. So it seems as though the, the leather side of the So Pink has been delayed, but they had other things that already had been released. It was still delayed no matter what. Everything is delayed when it comes to luxury at the moment, obviously because of the pandemic. But the colors are Rose Shocking. So it appears as though Rose Shocking is going to be available in most leathers. Speaking of which, let me just say that I don't follow exotics. It's not my kind of thing. So just bear that in mind that, some people will ask me, do you know if it's coming in ostrich? Do you know if it's coming in croc? And I really can't answer that kind of question because I don't follow that side of Hermes. I'm not into it. So these are just colors that I'm going to refer to that are going to be available on, cow's leather, bull leather, that kind of thing. I've said Rose Shocking, it's going to be available in most leathers. So that'll be Togo, probably will be in Clemence, maybe even in Novillo. But when I say most leathers, it means that it's going to be available in those more commonly known sort of leathers like Swift, Togo, Clemence, perhaps Novillo, perhaps Evercolor, Epsom, that sort of thing. Rose Sakura, it's going to be in its usual Swift leather. It looks like they've also perhaps expanded into Chev for bags because before they were only doing Chev for small leather goods, but it looks like they're probably going to be including Chev for bags. So that's really good. I love Chev leather, so I'm excited to see that happen. It looks like they are also adding Rose Sakura in Clemence leather, which is really cool as well. So Clemence is a kind of leather where, it's quite scratch resistant, that sort of thing. It gives it a bit more of a matte look as well to the color. The other color from the So Pink collection that's coming about, it's going to be, I'm including this with the SS21 because it's going to be around the time anyway. The other one is Bubblegum Pink, which is going to be in Epsom, and it looks like it's also going to be in the Nagonda leather, which is the only leather that you kind of see on garden parties in the canvas toily version. And the other color is Framboise, which is going to be in Swift by the looks of it. Now, some people think that Framboise, I know I butcher everything on this channel. I don't speak French at all, so just bear with me. The actual spelling of each thing is going to be on the screen and there will be colors as well on the screen, like pictures of the colors I'm saying. So Framboise is actually a re-release. Some people thought it was new, but it's not. Framboise was actually around in the early 2000s, and before they had it in Chev leather, but it looks like this time around it appears to only be coming about in Swift leather. I hope that they at least do Evercolor as well. It would be nice if they added Chev, but Chev is still a harder to get leather anyway regardlessly. But yeah, all of those colors in the So Pink collection are actually re-releases. Hermes has had them before, so they aren't new colors. I'm not going to bother really kind of just explaining how those tones kind of really are. I feel like the names kind of speak for themselves. The only one being Framboise, if you don't know, it actually translates to raspberry in French. So that is why it has more of that kind of raspberry pink hue to it, but it is still in that like pink family. Now, there are some colors that are hanging around still from spring summer 2020, and that means that they were actually back last year, like at the very beginning of 2020, late 2019, these colors kind of were released then, but the pandemic sort of hit around the time that spring summer 20 was dropping. So the colors that are still hanging around are Rose Confetti, which is available in Epsom, Blue Broom, which is available in Epsom and Chev, Blue Pale, which is this color here, and that's going to be available in Clemence, and this is actually a Clemence Picotin, so you can get an idea of the color. This is probably one of the few ones that I actually have a physical example of. Speaking of which, my Picotin, still haven't been using it, but my 7 Rue Paradis insert is arriving, I think, this week. So I'm really, really excited to actually start using this bag. I had been waiting for that insert, so the insert helps with the structure, and because the Picotin is actually a single lined leather, like it's a single lined bag, sorry, that's all it is. That's it. There's no lining inside. So not only was I sort of paranoid about dirtying that really light blue sort of lining where it kind of looks like a suede inside, it would easily pick up dirt, anything. It would pick up anything. So I was paranoid about using the bag because of that. But also I was really worried about the shape because I have seen Clemence Picotins look really sad and misshapen, especially because they probably used the wrong inserts as well, or they've overstuffed the bag. So yeah, that's what's made me sort of paranoid to use the Picotin. But once the insert arrives from 7 Rue Paradis, I'm definitely going to be using this bag more. I'll probably attach a shoulder strap to it. I definitely will be storing the 7RP insert inside the Picotin because it will really, really help with shape overall, especially Clemence leather. It is most vulnerable when it comes to disforming, unfortunately, if you have overstuffed it or something has stretched out your leather. All right, so also as well, if you are new here, you may not know, I have a code with 7 Rue Paradis. They are the only inserts that I recommend for your Hermes bags. They are the safest, they are the best ones to use. My coupon code with 7RP is POF30 and you'll get €30 off. But if you need 2 inserts, then I have a code to get €70 off, which is POF70. Details will be in the description bar down below. So those are the only colors from spring summer 2020 that are still kind of hanging around into spring summer 2021. Now some other colors are also still hanging around from fall winter 2020, and this was the collection previously. So this dropped around about, well, it was supposed to drop, I think it was around about, say, June, like around that kind of time, but again, everything has been delayed. So you've only even started to see colors from fall winter trickle into the market in the past, say, like 3 months. So the colors that are still hanging around from fall winter 2020, and all the colors that I do list out, if you want to get more details on them and how I describe them, then perhaps head over to the other video that I filmed, which is fall winter 2020 colors, and I describe them a little bit better because it's kind of escaped my mind, you know, the way to kind of describe these colors. All right, so what is still hanging around from that collection is Rose Mexico, Rose Texas, and Rouge Coeur. Rouge Coeur is like a really true kind of Valentine's Day heart sort of red. It seems as though caramel and sesame are also hanging around as well. I think, if I remember correctly, sesame might have been from even the spring summer 20 release. Also Cray, which is a color that Hermes has had for quite some time. Not a permanent color, but it kind of comes and goes. Cray came back in full force in pretty much in spring summer 2020, and it has been hanging around ever since. So it's been around for a full good year now. Also Nata as well, I think came out in spring summer 2020, and that is still hanging around too. They also introduced Blanc, again, another returning color, in fall winter 2020, and it is still again hanging around, but only in Ever color. So those are all kind of whites right there that are still hanging around from either fall winter 2020 or spring summer 2020. Then you've also still got Rose d'Ete. Rose d'Ete, I think, has been hanging around now for a good, almost good 2 years, because I don't even think it was from any video that I filmed when I started doing these seasonal colors. I can't remember exactly, but I think it might have been even maybe spring summer 2019 or something like that. I feel like Rose d'Ete has really been hanging around. That's available in Swift and Ever color. And yeah, that is it. So those are all the colors that have been kind of hanging around, and the inclusion of the So Pink collection that was delayed and has now dropped. Now let's move on to officially the colors for spring summer 2021. So these are the official colors that are coming back for this season. There might be some new colors in here, and we're gonna start off with the color Bleu Orage. This is actually a returning color for Hermes. It's been around before, hasn't been around for a very long time. So they've brought this back, and I think the last time I remember that they made these was probably, that they made this color was probably around about 2010 or something, around that kind of frame. So I think it's been a good sort of 5 to 6 years that they haven't done Bleu Orage. That looks like it's going to be available in Clemence, maybe in Togo as well. The way I describe this color is that it looks like very dark rain clouds, pretty much the kind of rain clouds that you would see when it's storming. And when I thought of this already, that was the way I described it, but then when I looked up the translation for orage, it translates to storm in French. So I guess that's why they've called it that. I know that Hermes tends to, they call their colors based off usually what they look like, perhaps with the exception of something like Rose Shocking. I think that that's more a case of this color is a shocking pink. But yeah, usually they pick the words that actually describe the color, or the color has had inspiration from that particular thing. You know what I'm saying. All right, another color that is coming for spring summer 2021, and it's actually a new color, and it's the color Blush. Now, Blush I started to see trickle into the market probably about a couple months ago. So it could have actually been a part of fall winter and I didn't know, or we didn't know, because no one mentioned this color. But it just looks as though for spring summer 2021, it's definitely coming in more bags. It's like a brownie pink blush. So I feel like that, that's where they've kind of got the inspiration from the word blush, because it's got like a brown warmth to it, but it's not like a true brown or anything like that. Absolutely love it. Kind of a little bit maybe on the terracotta side a little bit as well. The other color that is actually returning for spring summer 2021 is Rose Japur. However, I have only seen this in the Verso lining, but usually if they're adding a color inside a bag, that means that they will generally start to produce this color at least in SLGs as well. Rose Japur, yep, returning color, beautiful pinky corally sort of color. I have only seen this so far in Swift leather for spring summer 2021. Hopefully they reintroduce it again in pretty much all leathers, because before I had seen it in Epsom, in Togo, Clemence, and that sort of thing. Rose Japur, beautiful, beautiful pinky corally red. The next color is actually a new color for spring summer 2021, and it is Jaune Bourguignon. Don't come for me. This is a new yellow from Hermes. It actually really reminds me of lime, but it is more muted, and I feel like it's a bit more pastel. Really beautiful yellow. I really quite like that, so I'm interested to see that coming into the market. So far, I've only seen it in Chev leather, but hopefully at least comes in Epsom as well. The next yellow that is actually a returning color is Jaune Poussine. I feel like that's probably the worst one to butcher, right? And I'm sure I have butchered it. Now this actually translates to baby chicken. That's the translation for it. And that's really what it reminds me of, is like a baby chicken, except more pastel. So this is more of like a pastel yellow, but it is really light kind of baby chicken yellow, because I'm not going to bother saying that word again because we're not going to go there. All right, so yeah, it seems as though that is a returning color, and it looks like it's going to be in most leathers as well. Another color that is a returning color is Vert Menthe. This looks like it's going to be in most leathers as well, and the way that I would describe this is that it's a very deep sort of minty green. Like you can really get that minty kind of vibe from this color. You can kind of get the vibe, that menthol, minty, spearmint kind of vibe from it. But yeah, very deep minty green, not pastel. It is on that true green sort of side, but you can see that mintiness to it. Maybe it's just the name that makes your brain think that way, but yeah. Anyways, and then the last color that is coming for spring summer 2021, and it's a new color, and it's Rouge Cellier. So Rouge Cellier, to me, the way that I interpret this color is that it's a chocolate espresso brown. That is really what I see in this color, because Hermes does have some browns that look really similar, like Ebene, chocolate. They look similar, but Rouge Cellier gives me more of that espresso rich, earthy kind of brown feel to it. That's what I kind of get from it. I can see more of that richness. I can see a bit of like a slight burgundy hue in it as well. I really like this color. I feel like that is a fantastic neutral, but being different than say like the classics like gold, which obviously is still going to be hanging around. Etoupe, still obviously it's a permanent color. You'll still be able to get that, as well as Noir. That's another neutral that is always going to be available, but it is nice when they kind of add some more neutrals to the mix that are seasonal, because everyone asks for the classic colors, you know, like the gold, the Etoupe, the black. Etan looks like it's still hanging around. Etan is not a permanent color, because if it was, you would see it in SLGs, that sort of thing, and you would see it in their sandals, but it kind of is sort of a bit of a permanent color when it comes to handbags, because you just never really see that color go away. Even a little bit like Cray, that can kind of be a bit like that as well, but I know that colors like Etan and Cray, even though they kind of hang around, they are just not available in everything. Whereas with Cray, when it came back in full force for spring summer 2020, that's when you started to see it becoming like, you would see it in all bags. You would see it like I was able to get it in the Bleed last year. I seen it in the Mosaic bag. I've seen it in Pickertons, pretty much in almost every single bag that Hermes made. They pretty much did a Cray version of it at some point. Almost every single bag, almost. Don't take me literal here. But that's kind of the difference that I want to sort of explain, is that even though you will still see colors like Etan pop up, it's just that you won't see it come out in full force across the full range of bags and SLGs as well, whereas you would see Cray came back in full force in SLGs too. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense, because I know that there is that bit of misconception where people are like, oh, Etan's a permanent color, that kind of thing. Cray's a permanent color, but they're not really. It's just that they're the kind of popular colors that Hermes still likes to produce, especially like in Birkins and Kellys and that sort of thing, and Constances, because people constantly keep asking for them. Isn't it funny the way that I paired those words, Constance, constantly? But yes, they are not officially permanent colors though. But yeah, I'm really glad that Cray's hanging around. Like, I love the color Cray, and I'm glad that it's hanging around where it's going to be available in more bags and being produced, hopefully still the same as what it was last year, because I would love to get my hands on a Cray Birkin. You know, I wouldn't mind a Birkin 25 in Cray or a Birkin 30 in Cray. But yeah, love the color Cray. Anyways, out of the actual official spring summer 2021 colors that are dropping, I think that my favorite is probably Rouge Cellier. I wouldn't mind a bag in that. I feel like it's a really nice kind of color that definitely is a neutral in my eyes. Otherwise, I like the color Blush, but if it's only an ever color, that means that the bag selection would be very, very limited. I wouldn't mind something in Rose Japur again, you know, especially if I could get something that is brand new from the store, that kind of thing. And that Jaune Bourgeon, however you say it, it looks quite nice, but I don't know if I would, you know, be adding like a Birkin or a Kelly and something like that. Maybe in a different bag, I could go for it, like a Mosaic or something. Jaune Poussin, again, do like the color, but I prefer that one in Epsom or Clemence, like a Pickerton or something like that. Those are probably my favorites. Blue Orage, I also don't mind that as well. I think that's a really nice color. Yeah, definitely would be keen for that too. I feel like that would certainly work as a neutral because it's got quite a grey undertone to it. Out of all of them, probably my least favorite is Vert Menthe. I do like greens, but I'm very picky when it comes to greens. That is a little bit too minty green for me. Yeah, but it's nice. I do think it's nice, but I couldn't see myself adding that to my collection in a bag. However, I could eat my words, because if a mini Lindy came up today in that color, I would be buying it. Hopefully that was helpful for you guys. I'm going to try and do my very best to upload this video as soon as possible. So you're probably going to notice with my videos, I'm going to have videos that have my scar showing, but then I'm going to have videos that are quite like were filmed before I had my surgery, because I do tend to pre-film my videos. But yes, that is it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.